Welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel. To the left, to the left. Subscribe in the box, to the left, or the right. Put your keys in the box. Who wrote the lyrics to that dodgy song? Anyway, get serious, John. Stop clowning around. So today we're talking about Bilt Hamber TouchOn. So Bilt Hamber, UK brand that you will know all about if you follow my channel, because they're probably one of my favourite brands, if not my favourite. Love using their stuff. Now, was it about 2 years ago, a year ago? How long was it? They released two revolutionary new products. Touchless, this pre-wash snow foam that really does get a lot of dirt off for a contactless wash method. Really impressive. My favourite pre-wash by a long way. And with it, they released TouchOn. Now, what is TouchOn? Well, let me tell you. If you're new to the channel, TouchOn is a pressure washer or pump sprayer, I'm adding some words, or trigger or bucket applied durable hydrophobic ceramic paint protection treatment. That's a long sentence. Try saying that after a few lagers. That additionally has low foaming. Well, I don't know if low foaming is ever desirable, but they all do. We talked about this very recently, didn't we? Powerful detergency, I bet it does, yeah, for most second stage bucket washes, so that you can further clean the paint while simultaneously applying protection following touchless cleaning. It's interesting. So that's the product, touchless. Does that mean you shouldn't or you can't use TouchOn after pre-washing with auto foam? Because auto foam, auto foam, is it? Yeah, creates a cationic film of detergent, which requires a little bit more rigorous rinsing to get off, which might affect the ability for this ceramic shampoo to bond. I don't know. So is it designed to be used with touchless? Is the way to say that you're going to get better results if you use it with touchless? But trust whatever they tell you, because they know their products better than anyone. Once applied, TouchOn has dirt-releasing properties too that work in conjunction with touchless in subsequent wash routines to produce superior contactless results. What they mean there is the more you use it, the more it gets easier to clean your car. TouchOn is water-based, not flammable, so you can't set light to it. Doesn't contain alcohol, so you can't drink it. No, don't ignore that. Or petrochemical solvents, don't drink it. For further technical information, please visit bilthamber.com or scan the QR code down here somewhere. Where is it? Where's the QR code? There's no QR code. Oh yeah, there it is, look, down the bottom there. Okay, right. So now we know what it is. It's basically a ceramic shampoo, okay? So what is it? It's my notes. What is it? What's changed? So when this product was released 2 or 3 years ago, it came out in little dosage sachets, which are still, or sachets, that are still available. Don't get caught up in that pronunciation. It will hook you in. I'll get stuck there in a loop. So it was on the Bilt Hamber website, and they're still on there, these sachets. And I think they're about £1 each or something. Are the sachets going to get discontinued, or are they there for good? I thought the sachets were quite a neat idea. Okay, so that's a question, and I could have got the answer from Bilt Hamber, but I think it's good to answer the questions as well as part of my thought process. Or maybe I'm just lazy with my prep. Maybe a bit of both. Now, this litre of TouchOn ceramic shampoo, this is the important information, okay? Bilt Hamber has sent me this very kindly. It's come, before, it's going to be released this weekend, so I'm rushing to get this video out. So this should be coming out Friday, Saturday, or something like that. And this new product will be available on the Bilt Hamber website, and then it will make its way out to their distributors if it's not already done so. It costs £18.95 per litre. Now let's just do a comparison, because last week we looked at the Auto Glim ceramic shampoo, which was £25 per litre. But Maguire's had £30 for 1.4 litre. Geon was north of 31 with Bathe Plus, so Geon was the most expensive one on the market, or out of the four that I compared. Then Turtle Wax had their Turtle Wax ceramic wash and shine, or whatever it's called, and that was really cheap. That was like £14 or something like that for 1.4 litres. So that's the cheapest. So where does Bilt Hamber sit on the market? Well, it slots in there out of those four. Those are big brands. Those are great brands, aren't they? Geon, Maguire's Auto Glim Turtle Wax, slots in there as the second cheapest. And that's really a good summary of where Bilt Hamber tends to be. You have a market average, then you have the cheapest on the market and the most expensive. Bilt Hamber tends to be somewhere between the market average and the cheapest on the market. Doesn't ever tend to be the cheapest. Like with our snow foam is now 30 quid for 5 litres. You can get snow foams for £4.75 for 5 litres. You might not want to, but you can. So we always give you that information. But here's the thing with Bilt Hamber. I don't use anything that costs me a fortune to use. And when you go through and work out cost per wash of their products, they're usually very, very good, right up at the top. Now let's look at that information. So with this particular product, I've used 15ml to 500ml in a pump sprayer, which is 30ml to a litre, which is what they say for pump sprayers or trigger sprayers, okay? We'll talk about all that in a minute, it gets complicated. That gives you a cost per wash, and that's exactly what I've just used, a minimum cost per wash of 28p. If you double that and you go up to 30ml, which you could use in a bucket of water, or up to 60ml in a bucket, so you get 56p, or potentially £1.12 if you do a 60ml bucket wash. That's like turbo. You've got loads of it in there. Alternatively, you can use 30ml to 300ml in a snow foam lance, which is roughly 1 to 10 if you scale them down. Why aren't they giving us PIR? Because they usually do PIR. I don't know, they probably got fed up with people trying to understand PIR. Or the reason I don't think they're giving you PIR with this ceramic shampoo is it's probably a little bit more flexible, whereas Touchless is formulated to have this like working, you know, it works at this PIR, it's developed to work at that PIR, whereas this is a bit of scope. If you put less on, you get less bling, you get less material, so you can always scope it a little bit more. So 1 to 10 in a lance, roughly. So our rough cost per wash is 28p through to £1.12p. When cost per wash of anything get above £1, I get a bit twitchy. 28p I'm absolutely fine with. So I would look, if I was using this, to try and keep my cost per wash well below £1. We've talked about this before on the channel as well, and you know me guys, I can chat forever. I've reviewed stuff, wash products, and I look at the cost per wash and it can be like £4. And that's just for like the pre-wash, you know, the cost per wash of the pre-wash is like £4. Then the contact shampoo is like £1.50. And then the wheel cleaner is like another £1. And then the fallout remover is like £2. And you go through, you know, dressings, glass cleaner, and you've cleaned your car yourself, and your chemical cost is like £15 to £20. You might as well go down the car wash and get it done then. The old scratch and shine, the old, you know, blast the hell out of it, scratch it, and then put something on it that shines, and they'll charge you like 10 quid, which is good value for money. Speaking of which, no, let's get on with this review. Speaking of which, right, so I've given you all the basic information you need to know on price, what it is, and all that sort of stuff. Now, the history of ceramic shampoos, guys. These products have probably had a bigger impact to the car cleaning and detailing market than we appreciate, because they are used, you know, rinse applied or wash applied ceramic foams, ceramic shampoos, or spray and rinse products are universally used by car cleaning places that want to protect your car, get it all shiny very rapidly without going around your car buffing on it and waiting for a wax to dry and all that sort of stuff. So they have changed the market massively. Now, they're not the be-all and end-all of car protection and car maintenance, okay? Why? Because you're essentially covering the car in a film of material which is going to provide protection and do its job. I don't doubt that. But every now and then there's detailing fundamentals that, you know, once a year you'll have contamination stuck on your car and you need to clay that off. Once you've clayed the car off, you need to whiz over it with some polish to get that paintwork all glossy and silky and feeling lovely. And after that, you can put a nice wax on it and you cover the entire panel diligently and carefully, and you let that hard wax cure off, and then you buff it to the shine and you go over it with a detail spray. You know, there's that high level or more involved detailing, you know, and you can take it to whatever extremes you like. And that gets you the best results, but the flip side of that is the time taken goes rapidly high. You know, could take you all day, whereas this takes you 5 minutes. Indeed, This morning I got up and I needed to demo this on the Golf. And as soon as I start getting all the gear out, you know, the wash gear, I get a shout from upstairs saying she needs the car. And I literally have to film this, get the car washed in 20 minutes. And now that moves us on nicely to the next segment. How do you go about using this product? Because there's different options. And the different options are going to be different for different people. The first thing, guys, is cover your car with Bilt Hamber touchless, okay? And put it in a snow foam lance, use it between 1% PIR and 2%. I actually went closer to 1% in this video, about 1 part product to about 6 or 7 parts water in the lance. It's not that difficult, is it? Sorry. Spray it on, leave it. Now, before I put the touchless on, I put the fallout remover all over the wheels and let that start reacting, because that's going to shrink out the brake dust. And I was going to go in with the brushes and brush all that up after the pre-wash. Unfortunately, didn't have time for that. Covered it all in the foam, let the foam sit there, and then normally you would go in scrubbing. I was doing some filming. Blast off the touchless, okay, and blast off your alloy wheels. Blast down the car. That's your pre-wash. That's your detailing fundamentals, and that removes a massive amount of dirt, especially winter road film, and it gives you a relatively clean car. If your car is well maintained, you may be at the stage where you could just apply the TouchOn, and you could pick one of the 3 methods. You could either put some more in your snow foam lance. I don't think I'll ever do that, because I just keep my snow foam lance with touchless in it, okay? You could put some in a pump sprayer like this, which I think is a really good idea. And then you could dose it out very accurately and use however much you want to use. I used about 500 ml total solution of water and product, 15 ml product, which is very, very little product, which is good. It also gives you a chance to go back over the car again. You could probably double dose if you wanted to. You'll struggle to use that 500 ml. Or you could put 30 or 60 ml in a bucket, blast it up a little bit. You won't get much suds, just like the Autoglym ceramic shampoo. These products, because they contain cationic components, they can't have all these complex mixes of surfactants, cationic surfactants, anionic surfactants. I think they have to have non-ionic surfactants like sodium lauryl, ethyl SLS. They have to have limited surfactants in them, so they have some cleaning power, but they're nowhere near as powerful as a regular shampoo, in my opinion, like Auto Wash. So if the car is very clean after the touchless wash, you could bucket wash it with this or spray on and work the solution with a mitt. If the car isn't 100% clean after the pre-wash, which a lot of times it isn't, you could foam up, you could put some of this in a bucket, you know, the Auto Wash contact shampoo, and go back over the car and do a contact wash, which takes a little bit of time, but you know, that's what everyone does. You could also do what I sometimes do, spray the touchless back on again over the car. This is probably a detailing faux pas. Spray it back all over the car, then go over the car and mash it up with your wash mitt. Just mash it up, and you can have a bucket of water to clean your wash mitt up. That's the old turbo method. I like using this as a contact shampoo. I don't know if that's bad or not, but I almost prefer this because I can get it all nice and foamy and thick and get it everywhere in the winter. Whereas this is, you use tiny amounts and it's not high foaming, although it doesn't matter, but psychologically, I really like double dipping with the touchless. Whatever way, once you've got the car satisfactorily clean, then you'll go on and you can use the TouchOn. Now, if you have no protection on your car like my Golf, there's just nothing on it, it's dead. This will add a layer of hydrophobicity, which is decent. It's decent, it's a bit more beady than the Autoglym ceramic shampoo. I've never compared ceramic shampoos. We will do it at some stage. In fact, I'm getting quite a few now, aren't I? So I'll gear up and we'll do that at some point in the summer. We'll learn about which ones are the best value, which ones are the most hydrophobic, which ones can help self-clean. We'll do all that formal test at the moment. I've never compared them. A lot of you said that the water repellency of the Autoglym product was disappointing, and it was a little bit disappointing on my red Porsche. However, the next day I went to meet D to the C, the Dan's Timeless Classics. He looked at my red car and said, "You've polished that, haven't you?" I said, "No, I just washed it." And then it dawned on me I'd washed it with the Autoglym ceramic shampoo. They do, these ceramic shampoos, regardless of what you think about the beadage, they make the paintwork really pop and they make it look glossy without you having to go and do anything. But don't expect, if you've got zero protection on your car, and my car also needs claying and polishing, it's got little lumps on it, don't expect to be able to bypass all the detailing fundamental rules. There is still a requirement for claying and polishing and all that sort of stuff. Also, if the car was well maintained and I had a layer of like Finny wax on it, or Hydro Wax, or even Microfine, which has got wax in it, polish and wax, or double speed wax, which is a really good wax. If I had some base hydrophobicity, then TouchOn will be a lot more repellent. But I'd say it adds a good amount of repellency, and you can play around with that. If you want more repellency, double dip with it, you know, or increase the concentration. Don't go mad. Don't go beyond what they're telling you. 60 ml in a bucket, you know, so 30 ml to a litre. You could go a little bit higher, but don't go mad with it, or else you risk staining issues. So we get the idea of how you use it. Don't let it dry once that liquid's applied to that panel. Put it to the panel. Spread it if you're contact washing. If you're not contact washing, you just spray and rinsing it almost. Make sure you've got good coverage over the panel. Rinse it all down, and once you rinse it, you'll see white solution kind of flake, you know, come out when you hit it with the pressure washer. Use the pressure washer because it will just make sure it gets it off if you've got one, okay? After that, get your towel, go around and dry the car. When you dry the car, the paintwork is slick, the paintwork looks lovely and glossy, and the paintwork is much easier to dry because, you know, it's hydrophobic. The water wants to come off the car, so it goes from the car into the towel very easy, and you can do those lovely glamour shots of drying the car. After that, the car looks lovely and it feels slick, and you've only spent a couple of minutes doing it. There are some really cool features about these ceramic shampoos. You probably want one in your arsenal. Will you use it all the time? Well, it depends. It depends whatever your routine or your regime is. Because my regime, historically, is using this Bilt Hamber QD as a similar sort of thing. Plastering the car in Bilt Hamber QD, you know, which doesn't cost a lot, and then using it as a drying aid. Bilt Hamber QD, I always have it to hand because you can also use it as an interior detailer. And you know, you can quickly vacuum out the car if you're turbo washing the car. And then after you've vacuumed it out, you can clean up your pedals, your steering wheel, your dashboard or whatever, and then quickly go over it all with the Bilt Hamber QD. I quite like doing that. But yeah, the Bilt Hamber QD is probably some surfactant and form of, I don't know, I don't want to guess what it is, but it's not the same material as the ceramic shampoo, which says crystalline hydrophobic treatment. There you go, guys. That's everything you need to know about TouchOn. Why are Bilt Hamber doing this? Oh, there's a couple of things as well that you need to know. If you get it all over your glass, I don't think Bilt Hamber say this, but Auto Glimmer said it, and I always think that's important. If you get excess product on your glass, you know, you're going to towel dry it and you should get it off. But if you don't do it properly, you can get some smearing on the window sills. I haven't tested that in this, but generally with these types of products. So if ever you're worried about that, I think, you know, you can apply it all over. Forget about your side glass and your rear glass, just towel dry that. But you could go over the glass with traceless, and that is going to just, if you've got excess product, it's just going to take it off, so you don't get that sort of like ghosty kind of thing going over on the glass that you can sometimes get. So that's the thing about glass. What's the other thing? What was the other thing I was going to say? What was the other thing? Oh, it was important. It was important. Oh yeah, the other thing is this product in the bottle, to me, from memory, has a slightly different appearance to the original TouchOn, which was quite milky and quite, in the sachet, I'm sure it was like white, whereas this is absolutely crystal clear, and I like that. Yeah, you can't see it, you can just see the froth on the top, but it's clear, so it's a different consistency, it doesn't smell of anything. So is it a different material? Don't know. Why are Bilt Hamber doing this? Why are they doing this? I don't know. It's cheaper probably now to use TouchOn in the bottle. Maybe it's for more commercial applications where commercial organisations want to use this, but they want to be able to buy the liquid rather than buying all the sachets. I don't know, but I quite like the sachets. There's merit in sachets and all that sort of stuff. It's on my little thought list about some of that stuff. Anyway, I'm digressing. So there you go, guys. TouchOn is now available in a 1 litre bottle. These Bilt Hamber products are pretty fantastic. Like I say, they form kind of the backbone of some of the stuff that I use most of the times, but especially APC, detail spray, pre-wash, absolutely. Even now, glass cleaner. I mean, they're a backbone for me. TouchOn, I'm going to try and use it a little bit more, but I often, especially in the summer, I love, especially with my car here, you know, the Black Peril and my Porsche, even though the engine's blown on my Porsche, it's another story. I love getting them in the garage and like really like shining up the paintwork with a light polish of something, you know, not cutting, but just a light polish. And then I like waxing them. I love doing all that. Whereas TouchOn, you lose that fun, but in the winter months, or if you've got a car that's not garaged and it's just like an old Golf like that, then these products do make a lot of sense. We will do a full-on ceramic thing comparison, you know, shampoo comparison at some point, because they are probably of interest. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions about this product, put it into the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. That's all for this one, guys. This product will be available from the Bilt Hamber store and other distribution partners that you may well be familiar with. It's widely available, isn't it? See you later. Bye now.